How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We have to take a look at why the stock market is going to go insane in the next month to month and a half. We've got about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. And I think there's going to be a lot of volatility in the market, but I think it's going to be good volatility. So let me explain. Over the last couple weeks, we've been really focused on GME and AMC, and there hasn't been a lot of attention on other stocks. So we haven't really been talking about a lot of other stocks. A lot of people have been paying attention to only GME and AMC. But if you remember, almost 2 months ago now, we had this massive earnings week. Apple, Facebook, Qualcomm, UPS, 3M, AMD, Microsoft, Visa, Starbucks, BP, McDonald's, Neo, Amazon. There were so many earnings, and that's coming up again. Now, we'll take a look at the earnings, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do too. But we have to take a look at this. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I really appreciate that. Please hit subscribe too. Please, if you want to get more videos like this, or if you've seen videos like this in the past, hit that subscribe button to see more of them. If you guys want, there's a link down there to Webull to get some free stocks, and there's a link down there to BlockFi to get an interest rate and a bonus on your cryptocurrency. So they give up to $250 worth of Bitcoin and pay you up to 10% a year, which is much better than you can get at your bank, I'm sure of. So let's take a look here. We have these massive earnings coming up. So if we go 3 months forward, that's end of July, right? So we have that. Then if you remember right, the week after that was not a boring week either. We had companies like CVS, Pfizer, Under Armour, Lyft, GM, PayPal, Twilio, Etsy, Uber, Fastly, Wayfair, Roku, Square. A lot of really important companies, DraftKings too. A lot of important companies, a lot of large companies that really determine how the economy is doing, right? I mean, you can take a look at PayPal or Square to see where people are spending money. It was definitely a big week. In addition to that, the week after that did not slow down either. We had companies that were more fan favorites. So looking at this, we had Simon Property Group. We had Palantir, Fubo, Lemonade, Wix. We had Veru, Sonos, Yeti, Blink Charging, Walt Disney Company. So a lot of big names there too. This is kind of like the earnings month. And then the last one that we had, the last big week really, was the consumer week, right? We had Walmart, Home Depot, we had Target, Lowe's, TJ Maxx. We have a lot of companies like Kohl's too that show kind of are people buying retail again? Are they going out and spending money on clothes? Are they willing to get out and leave the house? And are they spending money on that? We have Foot Locker in there too, and John Deere and Buckle. So a lot of large companies. So what am I getting at? Okay, there's a month of huge earnings. That is coming up here soon. If we just look at, first of all, just look at the large companies, right? We have Facebook, Amazon, Alphabet, and Apple. All of them really crushed earnings. I mean, they had varying degrees of crushing earnings, but this right here is Facebook's earnings. Okay, so they were expecting about 2.36 earnings per share. They got 3.3. So they beat pretty significantly. We have their stock moving up a little bit. So it went up from 280 up to about 330 just in the last 9 months or last 6 months. But since their earnings, they've gone up about 7%. They went up significantly right after their earnings, and then they haven't really gone up at all since. So after they announced their earnings, they pretty much stayed stagnant. From there, we can take a look here. We have Apple. So Apple absolutely crushed earnings. A lot of people didn't think that they were going to be able to actually give us earnings this high because we got $1.40, and they had a lot of great things that happened in the last quarter. They beat by 40%, and what has their stock done? Over the last 6 months, absolutely nothing. So after their last earnings, it really did nothing. So they didn't move at all. And then it's come down since then. So they went from the mid 130s down about 5%. Over the last 6 months, they have done absolutely nothing. They're up 5%, but they were all the way up to 145 and they've even come down. Google is a thing of beauty. Take a look at that line there. They are increasing earnings per share consistently. I mean, that is beautiful. It's about $6 more in EPS every single quarter. The last quarter is only 4, but man, that thing is beautiful, and they are crushing expectations. They beat by 60% last quarter. What has their stock done? It has gone up from about 1,800 up to 2,400, but if we look over the last couple months since their last earnings, they've really not moved at all. Amazon, everyone loves Amazon. Another thing of beauty, just going up and to the right. They beat pretty significantly also by about 60%. And what has their stock done? Well, the last 6 months, it's gone nowhere. It's up 6%, but from its peaks, it's still down. So what am I getting at? Well, there are a lot of really quality companies that haven't moved in 6 months, 3 months, 9 months. Amazon, Apple, Facebook, these companies have not been moving. And in my opinion, I think these are great companies. I know some people don't like them because they're not as flashy as other stocks, but if you take a look at what's happening and what these companies are doing, I think these will outperform the market. And the thing about these is they are really resilient. So when we see market dips, like when we saw in February the market dip, this dipped, right? Amazon fell 11%, but only fell 11%. We take a look at Google. Google went from 2,100, and then during the market dip, it fell 4%, and then it came back and was up 4%. These companies are great stores of cash, and in my opinion, they are a great place to put some money if you're looking long term and you want to invest, but you also want to be able to take out your cash in case you need it for something. Of course, I never condone investing when you need the money, but let's say we have another market dip and you have growth stocks that you really want to pick up, like Palantir or Tattooed Chef, or maybe you want to pick up some Bitcoin or something like that. Having your money in something like Facebook and Apple and Alphabet and Amazon, I think is a good hedge, right? I mean, it's not as good as probably the S&P 500 or something like that, but will these companies continue to trade sideways if they have these beautiful earnings? Like, it's one thing if Apple trades sideways because they're actually earning less, but they still beat expectations. It's another thing if, let's say, Google, it's very different if Google trades sideways. I don't think that Google will continue to trade sideways. I don't think it will trade sideways. I mean, it's up 30% or something like that in the last 6 months. So I think companies like this are pretty resilient, and I think they can be used as a store of value while other stocks are falling. Now, of course, they might not grow as much as some other growth stocks. I mean, we've seen a lot of growth stocks grow, 50, 60, 70% since March. But these things are a way to diversify your portfolio, and I don't know. I keep on saying the word beautiful, but who doesn't love Google? Who doesn't love Apple? Who doesn't love Amazon? Who doesn't use those every single day in their life? Or almost every day, once a week or something. These are great companies with great products with growing revenue. They're emerging into other markets and they're dominating. So what am I trying to get at? You have 1 month. You have 1 month in case you want to build up a larger position in these before they have their next earnings. Let's say Google has $32 per share in earnings. I think it will continue to trend up. If Apple has another great quarter, or Facebook has another great quarter, Amazon has another great quarter, who knows whether they stay trading sideways, right? Who knows if they jump up 20%, 10% because they've been trading sideways for a while here, especially if inflation concerns are gone and people want to put their money into something like Apple, Google, Facebook, and they don't really have concerns that they're going to go down because of higher interest rates or anything like that. It's going to be really interesting to watch to see what these stocks do. And after that, we have all these other stocks that are announcing, right? So let's say Palantir does have bad earnings, but you think that, hey, I'm not too concerned about it for this, that, or the other reason. Now I've built up my position in Facebook. They had a nice bump or something like that after their earnings. Now maybe I want to diversify a little bit into Palantir and throw some more money at Palantir or Tattoo Chef or whatever stock it is, right? It doesn't have to be a specific stock, but that is what I'm trying to get at, that these are coming up before a lot of the other more speculative earnings. So it's just one way to think about it, one way to play it. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. This is all your money that you're making or losing. So of course, do your own research. I'm just someone that's trying to give my perspective. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for hitting the like button and checking out Webull and BlockFi down below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.